The utter uselessness of Keir Starmer has been an unending 18-month nightmare of disappointment. He's brought the party to the brink of bankruptcy. His interviews have been amongst the most inept, unanswered drivel ever seen from a politician. His failure to take a stance on anything, unless approved by focus group, has been embarrassing. His serial failures to make a dent in the polls against the worst government in modern history is tragic failure. Though of little surprise when he has no policies, has too often supported that government and rarely opposes, preferring to abstain instead. That's all aside from the ongoing purge of left-wing members from the party who haven't been driven away in disgust already. But instead of facing up to his failure, he appears to be determined to entrench himself in his post even further by returning to the anti-democratic Electoral College system overturned when Ed Miliband led the party. One member, one vote is the democratic way, but democracy doesn't suit Keith Stalin. It has been confirmed today that Keir Starmer will seek to overturn the electoral system that made him leader in favour of one that will again put a disproportionate amount of voting power in the hands of MPs and trade unions. It will also return the selection power of members to their CLPs rather than everyone being able to vote for who they want. He wanted to end one member, one vote, and the only reason you could possibly want to overturn the fairest, most democratic way of choosing your leader is because he doesn't think he'd win a challenge. And this is being reinforced with the as yet unconfirmed reports that he wants to raise the threshold number of MPs required to force a leadership race up to 100, pretty much making it impossible for any MP to actually challenge him for the leadership. Talk about Stalinist behaviour. If Starmer were to get his way, he'd essentially be a dictator, having made it all but impossible to trigger a challenge, all but impossible to remove him through democratic means. It doesn't matter how dire his performances continue to be. It doesn't matter how badly he polls and how widely amongst the electorate he continues to be disliked. He is determined to remain exactly where he is by any means possible for as long as he likes. He's either so dreadfully deluded by those he surrounds himself with that he thinks he can actually win an election. Newsflash, Keith, if Beth Rigby has you staring longingly at a window, wishing to escape for fear of uttering the words wealth tax, then a live TV debate with a much sterner presenter is utterly beyond you. Or he's more interested in ensuring the Labour Party never again challenges the established order, the capitalist status quo that of late has mishandled the COVID crisis, caused food shortages, and is set to see energy prices soar, all whilst rich people become even more rich and the current government makes poor people even poorer. A system that has for 4 decades failed ordinary working class people. Factional control of the party to neuter any threat to that order, to support it and wait for his turn to lead the country in a similar, less threatening way to that system once the Tories have once again become more liability than benefit to it, and the media will follow suit to promote their new boy. They did it with Blair. Starmer hopes they'll do it for him too. Thing is, we're all a lot more switched on to these sorts of shenanigans these days. Social media and the rise of alternative voices calling this crap out for the big billionaire-driven con job it is, means we can see it coming. And yes, there are voices both inside and outside of the Labour movement calling Starmer's power grab out for what it is. The trade unions have called this out already. You might be surprised to hear. Sharon Graham of Unite, Ian Hodson of the Bakers Union, Manuel Cortez of the TSSA have all decried it. The Electoral College system damaged their reputations, you see. For so long, they were seen as string pullers to whoever was Labour leader, since their vote was proportionately bigger than that of ordinary members. Ed Miliband was battered for years for being in hoc to the trade unions. It's why he worked to democratise the system going forwards that gave everyone in the movement an equal say. An ordinary member has 1 vote, a Labour MP has 1 vote, a trade unionist has 1 vote. If Starmer takes us back to the college system as it was previously, MPs get 1/3 of all votes. The trade unions get 1/3 of all votes, and members, but only via their CLPs, get 1/3 too. Due to there being so few MPs proportionate to trade unionists or ordinary Labour members, as Ian Lavery has pointed out today, it isn't fair, as he'd effectively have 2,000 votes as an MP versus just 1 vote per ordinary member. It also demonstrates that the right-wing faction Starmer is truly part of doesn't believe it can win a leadership election under 1 member, 1 vote, because they had to lie and pretend to be left-wing to get elected last time. He can't even lie about it being about making the party more electable either, since this is an internal power grab of no importance to the wider electorate whatsoever. It puts all the power essentially in the hands of a parliamentary Labour Party who are, with the exception of a small group of fantastic individuals, utterly unrepresentative of the wider movement, with nobody summing that point up more than the wet behind the ears scam artist calling himself leader. Sir Keith Scammer. Now there's a name that fits. This is yet one more appalling affront to party democracy since Starmer took over. So aside from ensuring we cripple Starmer's operations by seeing the ratification of General Secretary David Evans voted down, we need to ensure the anti-democratic Bert with the quiff loses this vote too. He will destroy the party if his factional attacks continue for much longer. He's got to go.